1% of the population are type N, narcissistic. And he talks about James. And when I was reading this section, it made me mad because I'm like, you entitled little, that's what I thought. You entitled little, like, he goes to restaurants, demands the best table in the restaurant, doesn't care who's sitting there, I want this, expects to get what he wants when he wants it. It just gave some other stories like that, and it just made me, like, I don't know anyone like that, but that just was like very, like, they're frustrating. It was like, in my understanding of empathy, I wasn't so empathetic to that character. But actually, to go on to it, they're not malicious or dangerous, whereas the psychopaths can be malicious and dangerous. Narcissistic, not necessarily malicious or dangerous. I don't know what you've
with that, it's just, it's spoke about like states and traits, and that's kind of overall. So you can be in a state, so if you're like, a state of being unempathetic. So let's say if you're drunk or tired or hungry or something like that, you know, that can bring out, and he talks about that more around the narcissist, but it's like your state can change your empathy or how empathetic you are. But then again, the trait, some people like narcissists have that trait in them where, because if you're in a state where you're being less empathetic, and then as you say, if you're tired, and then when you get a good night's sleep, you might wake up and think, oh, yesterday, man, I was a bit harsh on such and such. Let me apologize, or let me just try and make that right. Because that was the state I was in at the time. Whereas if you're like a narcissist, that's just the way you are. It's that kind of traits in you. So you've got those traits that kind of pull out that sort of behavior.
That's deep, man.
There's a lot, man. There's a lot to go through.
They gave stories about. He gave stories about animals. Like our animals. And
what did you think about that?
I found it quite interesting.
Do you think they are?
Because I guess, like, without looking at it, but you look at a dog, if the dog sees that you're sad, a pet dog, it often will come up to you and just comfort you, or, you know, depend on the dog, but
that's true.
But it will often come up to you and comfort you. So, and he gives examples. There's an example of chimpanzees helping each other. For example, chimpanzees were observed helping each other climb over the wall, climb over a high wall.
But then again, sorry to challenge that, but he says, like, is that to do with trying to help the pack survive or trying to help the troop survive? Because that's the kind of thing, it's like, you know, that's a good example, but that's just, let's keep our genes alive, let's keep the team together. So is that not necessarily empathy? That might just be like, I don't know.
Survival.
Survival. The one that got me from that though, more so, was when he talks about when two chimps have had a fight.
Yes.
And then the one that loses, other ones go to comfort them or try and help them lick their wounds and stuff like that. So that seems, I mean, you could argue both. You could still argue that
for survival.
Survival, yeah, exactly. But it's interesting.
I found it interesting. Yeah, the loser gets consoled by the other chimpanzees. I thought, the animal kingdom can be kind, even as cruel as it can be, right? It can be kind. It also mentioned about monkeys pulling a chain to get food. This is why I thought they are empathetic. If the monkey pulled the chain and knowing that another monkey will get an electric shock, they didn't pull the chain. So that is empathetic, but again, you just throw a spanner by mates. It could just be survival.
It's a good. It's nice to think about it. It's nice to think. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Earlier, I touched on, you know, the adolescent brain not being able to be developed by 25, and he touches on that within a story in the book.